Hello and welcome everybody to the first stream of 2024. We are in the NACE Open Premiere. Hello everyone. I am joined by my fellow casters, Smet Spaffels. This is Juicy McBooty, and we're here for the UofT versus the SMU Mustangs. How's everybody doing? Fantastic. So glad you answered. Zach, what's the forecast looking like today?
Yeah, so today we've got a pretty interesting matchup. It's the first match of the season, as you all know, for the NACE Open Premiere. And we're going to be looking at the UofT Varsity Blues versus the SMU Mustangs, the first blunder of the stream already. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, well, I am, as you know, extremely knowledgeable about all of the schools. I know every single thing about them. I know their histories, their mascots, all of their frats, their fraternities.
Yeah, okay. Pop quiz then. Pop quiz.
Yeah.
What is the mascot for the SMU Mustangs?
The corgis.
I don't know how to break this to you, but I think you're correct. Anyways, let's lead off into introducing our teams, starting off with the UofT Blue. Here we've got some familiar faces and some newcomers as well from our B and C teams. We've got Phantoms on the DPS with I. We've got Aspect on tank, and we've got Drac and Computero support.
Computer OW.
Computer OW.
Yes, don't forget.
Very notably, not Computer Overwatch. It's Computer Row Overwatch. Very important.
Understood. I'll make sure to note that down. And of course, since we definitely get a card of the correct pronunciations of every single name, you know that any way I pronounce these is 100% canon, and there cannot be any changes or takebacks. On the SFU, SFU now. SMU Mustangs. We have a whole lineup. Absolutely. Yep. May Megatrix. We have DPS. We have Posu. Racist on tank. Yep, these are 100% factual, folks. We have Llama. We have Llama on support, and we have Sushi Tom.
I believe that's Tushy Tom.
Tushy Tom. You know, we can pronounce it that way. I guess that might be more. I guess politically correct, but like names are funny. Names are up to interpretation, wouldn't you say?
Well, I mean, yeah, these are names of all time, I will say. And leading off with, you know, everybody's selected heroes for the previews here, we've got pretty much like looking at a similar sort of team core composition. We've got both of these teams that are very comfortable in their dives, and we've got well, interestingly for the Mustangs, it seems like they have two flex DPS players. They got the May and the Tracer here as their presets. It's a little interesting to see what kind of comps they can cook up with that.
Do you know anything? You know, as someone who knows everything, even the mascots about every team, let's get some info, some background info, because I'm going to test you, of course, and you know,
this is
not for myself at all. Yeah. So make sure to take notes. But for these two teams, are they both, like you said, dive comfortable, dive capable? Are they dive masters?
You know, I'd wager to guess in the society that most teams are, you know, dive capable. They're going to be, you know, dive is while it is a very standard comp in the world of Overwatch, it's also incredibly complicated, where you've got your support backline that's typically quite fragile, and you're trying to support your Winstons, your Doomfists, your Divas, you know, who are just trying to dive in on the enemy team, and they're trying to isolate targets. Which is quite the contrast to team comps like Brawl. You've got Rush, where everyone is much more grouped together, everybody moves as a collective unit, or they take slight off angles, but they still play as a core. And it's much more difficult to say challenge positioning mistakes on like a Lucio Bat backline versus like an Ana Kiri or an Ana Lucio, something like that.
Okay, so if normally for those ones, then guard your backline. But for this team comp, let's say we're going off the player cards of a Tracer and a May for Deeps on what could be considered a dive comp. What are we looking like for playstyles to optimize this team comp?
Yeah, well, I mean, knowing your maps is obviously a must. We did get a lot of new maps with Overwatch 2. The flow of maps has started to slow down. We've gotten the new game modes, but as for your core three, right, your controls, your push, and your captures, they've kind of stalled out, and we've seen teams kind of hone them to perfection. Even with the balance changes and the new heroes that have come in recently, not
Mm.
too much has happened to shake up the meta. We've obviously seen Mauga be played a lot before he got nerfed over the break. Um, but thankfully, those days are behind us, and we're looking at a pretty varied meta right now, actually.
Thank
We've
God.
got
Mauga. Oh, oh.
yeah, I mean, you've seen your decent share. You've probably seen, Ramatras, Reinhardts. You've seen a little bit of Doomfist, actually. Actually, you've seen quite a bit of Doomfist. Doom players are seeming to come out of the woodworks lately. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
Has there really
and
been a Doomfist meta since we've had Overwatch 2?
I well,
Don't
we
think so,
had
no.
Godfist last year around December, right before the Overwatch devs went on break. They giga buffed Doomfist, creating the aptly called Godfist meta, which
Mm.
it only lasted for a week because the devs reacted very quickly and they shut it down before they went off for break. Which in hindsight, good call, but also I was pretty pissed off as a Doom player at the time. Um,
I thought you were referring to One Punch Man skin coming out, and that was the Godfist meta. I was so excited for a second, but
oh no, no, no!
guess
I'm
not.
talking about I believe it was either season 2 or season 3 where it rolled
Mm.
out and then they just gave because Doomfist was in the beginning of Overwatch 2 objectively the worst tank in the game, and then after that you saw him just 10 buffs, 2 small nerfs, and he just kind of shot up everywhere and he was constantly infinite CCing people, and it was really difficult to keep track of him and to shut him
Mm.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what might change that in that balance patch? I think another skin, like another anime skin for everybody. Or give another one for Doomfist. If you give Doomfist more skins, his play rate will rise, right? Right?
Hmm. Well, I mean, if you give him another skin, then you have to nerf him the patch after that. So you make your money, you see the popularity go up, the
Yeah,
play
yeah.
rate's
Mm.
really high, the win rate starts to dip a little bit, and then you nerf him down harder
Mm.
because he's being played too much and people are starting to complain. That is the
That-
Overwatch technique. You've seen that plenty of times before. We're just waiting for that, the beginning of the season. Whoever gets buffed, you can probably expect them to have a skin either in the battle pass or in the shop, something like that.
I want to say
From the
that's like
get-go.
a general giant multi-corporation technique where like I don't play League of Legends anymore. Thank God I got out. Bless your soul and good luck to anyone else trying to escape that addiction. But you just give a character, you buff the heck out of them, and then you just, wait a little bit. Okay, they're having fun. All right, now take it away. And then, they nerf it or adjust it to the balance, no? Because they want to get that marketing where they pull in the OP character. Ooh, I want to try the new guy. Ooh, new guy's OP. Ooh. I feel like that's a standard move.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It's certainly started to get a little old. I know that everyone was really tired of Mauga before as he dropped,
Oh.
right? And even though
Mhm.
he did take over the meta, it just kind of felt stale. And you see a lot of people, a lot of streamers especially, they're kind of like, oh, they did take a little bit of a break here, and we're excited to come back, especially right in time for season 9 with all the massive comp reworks and the alleged changes to hero health pools and whatnot. It's gonna be very
Mm.
interesting. Yep.
Oh yeah, what did they end up going through with like the whole everybody heals now, or like was that just did they get scared into saying no? What happened with that?
No, that's still on the way.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Anyways, we will toss it back to the countdown screen as we're waiting for the teams to finally lock in. Thank you for waiting.
See you in a bit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is me. It's your boy, Narwhale, back at it again with another video. Today, we're going to be here with my buddy. Um, um,
Skinny Legend. That's me, Skinny Shark.
Yeah.
We're here and we've started. Congratulations, everybody, for making it. Thank you for all being early and attending this event with all of us. We're here and we're ready to talk to you. Overwatch. What map do we have, Zako?
Yeah, so we are going into Antarctic Peninsula. We've got control for the first map. You know, our favorite game mode. And our favorite map as well.
I believe the kids call this Koth.
Koth. K-O-T-H. Koth, yeah, sure. I've heard many names for it over the years. So looking into it, we're going to be facing a little bit of we're going to be seeing a little bit of a dive on the side of the Varsity Blues versus the SMU Mustangs. We're going to be playing a Ramatra comp. Very interesting in seeing how this works out as they have a May coming out. Now, May's traditionally not very effective into dives. We could see that easily swap into a Genji or some other form of ranged damage dealer as both teams make their way to middle, and Tracer is the first one onto the high ground.
I'm excited to see them start trading here, especially when Doomfist is going to be targeting that back line and how Ram is going to respond. Oh, okay. Starting with a little bit of action here. Ram already blowing his cooldowns and walking forward, taking space, but Tracer does have the off angle. Ram looking a little bit low. Looks like the first pick could be gone here. Oh, Tracer goes down, but Posu does trade for an eye for an eye as the other Sojourn goes down. Another big pick here because Sojourn being the major DPS, getting those major picks. Big pick to start off with. Looks like Aspect starting to clean the rest. First fight, looking like it's going to go to our UofT.
Yeah, I like that. I see what you did there, eye for an eye.
I'm so clever with it, you know?
Yeah, and you could also see that they were starting to cap while they were still fighting, so they immediately got that, and their capture percentage is going up really fast because of it. That's an easy 5 to 10% extra versus everyone committing hard to the fight that they know they've already won. You're also seeing some swaps happening early. You're seeing the swap to a Sigma from a Ramatra, but you're still seeing the commitment to the May. They think it could work, and they almost catch out the Doomfist. They do catch out the Doomfist.
Aspect gets caught out just a little bit too far. Unfortunately, the support around that corner was just a bit too much, even with all 5 standing right there. It goes down. Unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen here. Are we going to see the point flip? Is there going to be the stall? Yeah. Once again, immortality.
Back into the immortality, unfortunately, but then it is going to drop out some massive utility as Aspect finds the kick out the Posu.
He's back.
And that blows the fight back wide open.
Okay, I does find Tushitom. Okay, Pure Gold is popped here. It looks like we're sitting on theirs as well. Trying to hit this sticky little Lucio right there. Okay, very interesting. We have the high ground again, but it looks like slowly the fight is going towards UofT Blues. Yeah, looks like the cleanup is starting to happen. Okay.
Yeah, you see what happened there. They surrendered the point, but they still had the touch. They still had Lucio contesting the point, trading with Tracer, trading aggro. But they were able to still keep it up, and they never dropped the point, even though they had enough time to reset, respawn, and then come back.
Yeah, it was a massive stall, especially with how quickly Aspect was able to return. We'd love to see that. This is going to be the last fight here. I'm hoping that SMU is able to pull off something big.
Yeah, we got 3 ults over for SMU, so they should, in theory, win this, especially with the ults as big as Overclock. And Blizzard is a little cosmetic here, but should still grant results in an overtime scenario.
Big save there by the beat for Aspect. Thank God those Lamix was able to save their tank. Otherwise, this fight could have gone very poorly. Finds yet another pick and just another. Wow, Trasus goes down right to the head. Even with the 2 ults of 2 ult advantage, doesn't look like it's happening for SMU this time around.
Yeah, now while it was 2 ults into 3, May unfortunately did not get hers off, so it was a 2-2 ult trade. And, you know, in situations like that, it's really even. And it, you know, a wise man once said, consider an ult a point. So instead of it being a 5v5, 2 ults for each side was a 7v7. And, you know, back then it's just down to pure mechanical fragging. And in this case, you saw that Varsity Blue. They saw red. They saw it. They wanted it. They needed it. And were able to pick off members of SMU to guarantee map 1. Or, sorry, point 1.
Yeah, so far seeing a pretty dominant performance in the Sojourn versus Sojourn matchup from taking out Posu post-haste quite quickly, and Aspect is really up in the back line over there, buying a lot of space. Even though we see the switch off of Drassist from the Ram to the Sigma, right? Doesn't look like it's doing enough in terms of keeping Aspect away. Once again, going in forward, try to buy a little bit of space.
Yeah, we see the shifting here in the comp, swapping off of Ramatra, more of like a brawl/rush kind of comp into the poke, but it doesn't matter as Mega Victory does get picked off, and it's sending SMU into a frenzy back towards their spawn.
Yeah, once again, just seeing just take that sharpshooter shot right in the middle of their team to take one out. Oh, but there is another trade. Finds yet another pick on Dulcimex, but Tushitom does find Phantoms in a once more 1v1 trade. Unfortunately, it looks like that UofT Blue does have the point here. Oh, they were not able to get Aspect out of there. Unfortunately, out of a sticky situation from the fire. The pot into the fire.
Yep, it's a bit of an overextending situation here, and we've seen that the Lucio is already up for SMU, so they're going to just walk back in and capture the point now. You know, a bit of a contest from Phantoms. Is he going to be able to make it out alive? Yes, he does, as Lucio... In the name of stall.
He tried.
In the name of stall, he runs down the point and he's able to secure just a little bit more, but he's going to make up for that loss in respawn time, as he is going to be running back from spawn as we speak.
Yeah, let's get some 07s in the chat, guys. We love a good Lucio who does try to stall for the team. Doesn't look like it came out through this time, but at the very least, SMU does manage to cap that point here. Oh, we're looking at Eye for an eye again. We're gonna find yet another pick. Oh my god, look at this guy's tracking. Phantoms does find Drassist quite quickly, but then takes down two more. Tushy and Mega go down quickly, and just the DPS differential right now is just shining on through. I think every time there's been a stall in a fight, really and Phantoms has been able to find their picks.
Yep, they really have. As we're starting to see ults come online, we see that, you know, Varsity Blue are ahead as they have been dealing more damage. They've won an extra fight, which means that they're going to have that much more progress on their ults. Now, 5 ults to 2 available, going to be 3. Really interesting in seeing how many ults are committed to this next fight, and how the teams are going to trade off of each other, and how the ult economy is going to play out. As Doomfist, he goes really deep, and he's forced to Meteor Strike early.
Oh, Phantom is able to follow up off of Aspect's dive initially with his ultimate. Sigma does find 2 with his Flux. Is able to trade. There, okay, 2 go down to that. Computer RW finds his own pick. Oh, but it looks like Drag staying some Mega Vic here. It still could go any way. We still have Posu's ultimate here. It's Plushy Tushitom could return here. Drag does find one, but goes down to Posu right afterwards. Computer RW desperately trying to keep their DPS up here. Sigma and Lucio are still alive. It's possible. Ooh, Posu's also here. Sigma walks forward, tries to buy space. Doofus is up in front. Posu desperately trying to find a pick here, trying to make things work. Sigma doesn't. The SMU has not been able to convert the point over. Oh, we're going in with the Eye ultimate, and we have 2 more, and we're blowing pretty much everything.
Yeah. They're fully committing to the fight here. It's just one fight when it's enough to guarantee the point for Varsity Blue, but unfortunately, it looks like their faith was misplaced. And that is 5 ultimates down over the course of that fight for Varsity Blue to just 4 from SMU. And they're able to get a lot of capture percent off this too. They're already at 40%. They're going to be about around 60% by the next time the fight starts. This is a really, really dire situation for Blue, as one more tossed fight could be the difference.
Yeah, those ultimates did unfortunately go to waste. Really good job to SMU here for strategically using their beat in order to suppress like 2-3 ultimates there for the damage. Ooh, okay, but Aspect goes in. Dresses. Oh, narrowly saved by the immortality. Puts shield up. Ooh. Okay, we're blowing ultimates here. Tushitom does put the window up. That does put a lot of pressure on Aspect here. Immortality is down. Are they able to find any value out of this? Tushitom does get pushed. Oh, but the 3 people looking at him take him down. Oh, Phantoms goes in and takes that kill. Drac once again popping into the backline, being as aggressive as his DPS, and Drass's just cleaning up the rest of him with a nice rock to finish.
Yeah, a little bit of a dive Sigma maneuver, while Phantoms just trades in his backline instead. Now the Sigma's going to be fighting for his life here against the 2. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to prevail, as the cap is actually still on the side of Blue. They back capped during that fight, and they're not going to be able to touch.
Man, beautiful play to really isolate that BAP.
Yep, and that is map 1, Antarctic Peninsula, going towards the way of UofT Blue.
Man. Very well played, everybody. I really like the flexibility that we saw from SMU to try to change up the comp in order to really deal with Aspect, who was just buying a lot of space for the team, and just how aggressively that the DPS and the supports on UofT Blue were able to go in and trade.
Yeah, exactly, and especially here, as highlighted by the play of the game, you really saw some big hero moments from Drassist here on the Sigma. You know, those fluxes were massive. He had about 2 of them, and I think he had 2 kills per
Yeah,
two
per.
kills per ult average. Yeah, that was
Mm,
really, really big. He waited for the utility to get dumped out, and he just went no hesitation into the back line, and he just made sure to secure 1 to 2 kills every single time. He's really impressive play from him.
mm. Yeah, really enjoyed the strengths that UofT Blue was able to use to their advantage of the DPS picks and also the very aggressive supports in order to help their DPS. Usually after, I want to say, I was able to find the first pick in most of the fights there, the initial 1 or 2 kills, just snowball a fight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of the point, or that's really one of the big focuses of Sojourn is you build up that rel in the poke stage of the fight, and then you're going to try and look for those explosive pop-off moments. It's not really the monster it used to be, especially without the one-shots built into it, but
Mm,
you can still just chunk, like taking off 200 HP, 190 HP from a target just like that is a massive difference maker.
definitely, I is probably a huge Kovacs fan. Honestly, the tracking, even just that one shot we saw on second point. Oh, I think it was the Lucio, I believe. Just a clean drag. Oh, I'm a big fan. There's a lot of like overall macro that we saw from both teams, knowing really where they could go in, what they could do, and trading out for ultimates and for kills. But even just that one slide was just very impressive. What do you think we need to see from SMU in order to combat the aggressiveness that we see from Aspect and the Doomfist buying so much space?
Yeah, well, I think part of what we need to see is a more favorable map, and as you see, SMU picked exactly that. We're going to go to King's Row as our next map pick, looking to even out the balance sheet a little bit. As Dive, while it is played as a niche comp on first point, is really not optimal on especially second and third as you push deeper into the city of London.
And this is, because I'm a caster, I know everything about this game, and I'm huge on macro and numbers and, fancy stuff. But for those, at home that don't know, obviously, King's Row second point, not as good for Dive because...
Well, because there are less alternate routes to find around the map, as well as less high grounds to contest, which means that there aren't as many power positions. Everybody's going to be playing around flat ground. Everyone's going to be naturally more grouped up. There is less target prioritization, target isolation that can occur on those kinds of map, and the mobility is a lot less valuable. And hold on, I'm starting to get a news broadcast here. We are having a sub. I repeat, a sub on the side of Varsity Blue. We're going to be seeing Phantoms switching over to tank, and we're going to see Hypothesis getting put in on DPS.
Man, I don't know where you got that news broadcast, but I hope the voices in your head are more introductive than mine. But sometimes it can be a little overwhelming in here. So, not having too many is good. I'm excited to see that these subs will hopefully be a better chance or hopefully have a better chance at fighting off Aspect or where Aspect used to be.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing this. It's most likely going to be a matter of the stronger Ryan/Sigma/Orisa player who feels more confident on those more rounded comps, and they will most likely pivot to something Mei related as well, because Mei's ability to catch characters on those off or like on those chokes, right, right next to first point in the hallway next to it, around hotel, those Mei walls are invaluable. And they really provide a large source of disruption that you don't really see in any other characters.
No, I definitely like to switch to Mei. I like the versatility that Maze provides in order to support with teams, because you can wall for your team to get across chokes. You can do it to catch off another tank. Like, she just has a lot of versatility once again, because she can heal herself as well, and her ultimate is huge, like it's game changing kind of thing. So hopefully having her in addition to the team comp is really going to be able to shut down anyone else that they need to. If there's not 1 or 2 people, like for instance, if the Mega can somehow take out I, oh well, with the right clicks that just shoot across the map since no fallout damage, like that would be huge.
Now, looking early into the map, it seems like we're going to be swapping places, with Varsity Blue opting into a traditional Ryan, Mei, Sojourn, Lucio BAP comp, trying to sprawl their way through first point, while SMU is playing a little bit more independently. They're going to be playing the dive comp with a Mei this time. I guess they really do seem to like that Mei, like you said before, is how versatile they are, and they're going to be really relying on the Widow opening. Oh, never mind. They're not on the dive comp after all, as they do switch back to Ramatra. Looks like Widow's going to be looking for some opening picks here. Lucio almost getting his head taken off as he peeks up north.
Ooh, excited to see this. Ryan against Ramatra. We got a wall coming up, trying to isolate one of the teams. Fortunately, it can't. Does not find any purchase on either side. Ram does manage to pull through. Now we're fighting on the right side of the tower and the statue. We're just trading blows right here. We do get the one of the walls thrown out. Okay, this is big. Hypothesis already used theirs. Looks like May's just going to capitalize on that. Yep, they wall off Phantoms. Ryan is looking like he's a hurt right here. No shield. Oh, and he goes down. It's the wall trade-off as we suspected. So she finds Drac, and it looks like at this point it's being taken.
Yeah, and that's pretty much a death sentence here for first point, as they have 2 people on, 1 person now. They got 50% already, and it's going to be gone. Like I said before, that May, all it took was 1 May wall. Reinhardt evaporated because he's nowhere to go. That 2,000 HP just goes by like that, especially when you have multiple people shooting at you, especially Bap and Lucio, who are some of the highest DPS supports in the game right now. You're just gonna go goodbye, as we see Phantom switching over to the Ram as well.
Yeah, oh my god, looks like Pozu maybe saved by immortality, but him as tank. Okay, and Computer OW does find 1. Nice, Pozu somehow manages to make it out as well, but it looks like out, no, yeah, UofT Blue is able to push and find their advantage. Oh, Pozu does find 1 in trade though, says I'm not gonna go down without a fight. 100 charge, maybe able to find some sort of off angle here. But it looks like UofT Blue is backing away slowly.
Yep, that early pick is going to blow the fight wide open, especially with a window coming out. Double window as we're going to trade back and forth. We are dying on this hill, goddammit, and we are going to die together.
Oh, the window on window action. You love to see it. Okay, but the rest of the team is pushing on Phantoms. We have a popped ult from Jurassist. This looks like he's just punching left and right through everything. Oh, Ram does go down. Phantoms is the first to go. Pozu, okay, showing that he too is not to be ignored. Finding 2 picks. Very nice.
Yeah, pretty dominant showing from SMU so far. They struggled a little bit with the first point around the choke, but kiting back towards their spawn and almost beating in Varsity Blue. Varsity Blue overextended a lot, and they lost Hypothesis in the process, which gave them a massive leg up with the 5v4, with the spawn being so close by and King's Row Defender spawn being so far away. They were able to confidently take that fight, and with only, what was that, 2-3 ults expended, they were able to triumph.
God, we have so many ults being popped out. We have 3, we have Blizzard, we have 2 of the Sojournauts, I believe, and another Ramatra one goes down as well. I'm honestly quite a little bit lost in the colors, but it looks like Hypothesis is able to find Jurassist, which is huge, but the tank has gone down, or SMU looks like UofT Blues like to push forward and take back that space that they so desperately need.
Yeah, those are some very pretty colors indeed, as we saw both overclocks come out. We saw May ult come out for the side of Varsity Blue, and Phantom's just running it down into their spawn. And so is Drac.
No, show him who's boss. Show him who's boss.
Yeah, you got a little bit of that classic overextend action. The Maywall is going to buy them a little bit more time from Hypothesis, but it's really not going to do too much, especially with 3 men on cart. You're going to be able to get around this corner even before the next tank comes back. And Computer does fall.
Computer, oh no. Oh, the touch the spawn challenge going just a little awry. It is possible maybe for us to regroup here and fight before second point, but at this rate, I don't think it's going to be.
Yep, you're going to be missing out on your May here, and that's a massive source of stall, especially with a Ramatra, who's, only tanky half the time, really, which is when he has his form up.
Right.
He's a part-time tank, you know how it is.
Part-time. I like that, yeah. Hopefully his wage is good. Oh. Okay, but Jurassist trying to go aggressively here, even though they have the point and they just capped it. Are they just buying for space? Are they trying to get ultimates out? Okay, but they do manage to get Drac in order to beat here. Looks like UofT Blue really wants that fight here because they want to get that space back after losing the second point so easily. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially after capping on a dry fight, right? They didn't use any ultimates to progress forward. They just wanted to push their advantage as much as possible and see if they could find another pick. I feel, I bet SMU is feeling very confident right now. They're walking in, they're strolling up, they have a massive ult advantage, and you better know that they know it. Because they're going to go deep here, they're going to look for a massive May wall into a counter window.
Huge. Oh, into 2 windows once again. Posu just firing straight through. Oh my god, it's a firing range. Not to be
Posu doing what Posu does, Sojourn, a little bit of a menace with any kind of damage boost. You got Mercy, you got Nano, you got Window, any of the above. They just completely turn her into a menace. It's a body shot Widow machine.
Yeah, they're just like temporarily buffing her back to the time when she was OP. Really just window right click, window right click. We've seen this like 2 or 3 times now. Now we're seeing a beat coming out here from Dos Lemex. Ooh, is it enough to save our tank? Okay, but Ram is being left behind. Does manage to find Computer OW. This could be huge. Oh, and he pops his ult. He knows that he's going to commit here. Looks like both Rams have their ults out. Oh, but the freeze! The freeze from Megavix. Able to find the Phantoms, goes down. Posu, again, once again, finding 3 picks per fight again. This man is a absolute roll here. Unfortunately, I is not able to survive on the point. My father tries to touch. That's round.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. He's been here before. Posu is absolutely popping off. He is owning this map, and you can really see it. Not just him, the rest of the team on SMU really came alive. You can see the fire light in their eyes as they started to push back on what was previously this sort of unmovable wall that was Varsity Blue the map before.
Yeah, I think really just getting off that Doomfist combo, they weren't really sure like what to do. Kind of their attention was a little split between, do we stop the Doomfist here? Do we stop the DPS that are pushing in and really aggressively pressuring our supports and finding these picks? This time around, no problem. They know what to do. It's textbooks. It's scrims row. They have a clear plan. SMU is looking good. And we had a little bit of the touch to spawn challenge go slightly awry from UofT Blue, but you know what? Both teams know exactly what they're doing.
Well, yeah, and on the side of Varsity Blue, you especially know what you're doing when you're running it down and spawn 3 times in a row. That's a classic right there. Once you fight, you get a little too hyped, you overextend King's Row, fine, whatever. But then you have a chance to do it again, and you know what they do? They do it again. Masterful.
It's not about learning. Not about learning. If you're going to do it 3 times, that's intentional. It's not a mistake.
Yeah.
If it's a 3rd time in a row, that's intentional.
Exactly.
I support this.
We're not going to be seeing the Widow opening. We're going to get straight into business here. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left for SMU. It's a lot of time. And you know what they say about people with a lot of time? They got big clocks.
Oh.
All right.
I've heard the first one, but it looks like Possible may well hear only one of them this time around. Possibly able to slow down our JQ for a pick. Doesn't look like... Oh, but Phantoms is able to find Mega. Actually, no, you're dead now. I wonder if UofT Blue is able to follow up on this. We have Ram. Oh, and his shift goes down. Unfortunately, Phantoms does find the pick on Drasus. Tries to assist on our May, but does not succeed. Hypothesis is just there to clean up with Drac, and the rest of the team walk forward.
Yeah, pretty clean fight coming out as we're going to look at a little bit of a kind of a pseudo rush comp as we see JQ, Lucio, Genji. You're just really trying to hit them fast and hard, and you're starting to see the counters come out a little bit with Tushy Tom swapping over to the Kiriko. Cleansing those bleed stacks especially, and also with the JQ ults almost coming up, 60%. That's going to be really invaluable to have the cleanse available to you.
Nice pick by Tushy Tom. Computer OW goes down. Fortunately, his head was a little bit too high at the window.
Yep, he peeked a little aggressively, but fortunately for Varsity Blue, they already capped the point, so it's not too much of a danger to recontest, even though they do push in. And Doslomax does find the confirm ult to Phantoms, and Posu kills Hypothesis, pushing them back. And they're pushing away from spawn. They could potentially clean up here if they are able to push through Statue.
Beautiful wall by Mega Man. Yep, Mega Man May, in order to isolate them from the rest of the team, and they were just able to push on Phantoms here. Hopefully, well, we do have the touch to spawn challenge happening here. I would love.
Yeah, but this is a touch to spawn challenge done right. They picked off an isolated target on Statue, and now they're going up onto the high ground where they're going to be collapsing them inside.
It's tactical. It's tactical.
It's tactical, gosh darn it! And you know what else is tactical? Throwing Suzu down, and then a JQ ulting right after.
And then a huge beat to save Drasus. Oh my god, it is tactical. We are not afraid to use everything right at spawn because this is where we belong and this is where we're staying. Drasus trying to look for the picks on the supports. Oh, managed to find it. Has his ult if he wants to. This momentum could continue, but it looks like... Oh, Blader coming out here. Drasus probably tactically understanding that no, this is not the time to pull ultimate. So, at the cost of what? 2 ultimates. Yep, we have Beat and we have Blade coming out from UofT Blue. SMU does find success.
You might find it hard to believe it. Actually, we also did see the Rampage coming out for Phantoms. He's already 40% back towards his ultimate. That's just how fast JQ can build it, especially when the teams are grouped together and she can get multi-cleaves with her axes. That thing fills up super fast.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't noticed it. In order to save from the cleave and the bleed as well, we did see Dulcimax use their ult. Oh, what a beautiful wall. Maybe Dresses, doesn't get caught out, but Posu, once again, finding and punishing anybody who's in this line of sight when he gets his ultimate. Right-clicking without mercy. Oh, finding the Mei? No, unfortunately, does get shut down. Looks like the entire team looking at it with the Mei slow also just prevents him from getting all that damage. So, SMU probably walking forward and cleaning up.
Yeah, unfortunately, UofT Blue wasn't exactly all on the same page as 3 members of them took the fight early. They popped the early window to try and catch them around the 3rd corner, but the rest of the team was still on cart, so it kind of fell apart. They didn't have the damage and the the throughput to stop a Lucio boosted Ramatra coming at them, as Ramatra was forced to pop his annihilation early.
Not very much value we got from there. Dresses was able to stay alive, so hey, you know what? You gotta pop all, understand. But possibly, TBS ults come out here. Who's gonna find those picks? Looks like Eyes maybe caught in the freeze in the corner. Oh, cleaned up by Drassist, and once again the supports cleaning up after their TPS. Yeah, very nice SMU. Way to react with the freeze. Well placed once again. Megavic really showing their utility, their use in utility.
Yep, massive value. They waited for the exact moment where Trax speeded the team in to collapse on them with Blizzard, and that's just a 1 ult team kill. It's really, really good for them, and there was especially their ult economy, as Varsity Blue is still trying to recover from all the ults that they blew, trying to get out of the spawn doors. Now looking here, Phantoms drops down behind them. He's going to be looking for a big rampage angle as they
What an angle. A window to pressure! Megavic does get caught out by Eye! Once again, the window right click. An infallible combo, truly. Kiriko does try to pop their ultimate in order to combat this, but that corner is really preventing anyone from going in. And we have Rampage coming out. We have Beat coming from Drax. From both teams, Dulcimax also popped his. Both ultimates are coming down here. Looks like the tanks are currently in a 1v1 here. Eye does find Posu, tells him he's different, built different. Hypothesis finds Dulcimax, even with both beats coming out here. It's like slowly UofT is going to slowly clean SMU.
Yeah, and against all odds, they do manage to bring that fight back, despite losing Computer pretty early into the fight and running into a Kitsune rush. You know, you do see that, like, fear coming out, the fear factor. You know, Phantoms rampaging through the enemy team. You see the counter beats react to that, but the beat doesn't get anything else, which opens SMU up to a, double DPS dive into the backline.
Yeah, especially JQ in the back like that, like right after an ultimate. Even with Beat, that's scary as heck. Okay, but we initiate with Blade here. Wondering if Hypothesis is going to find anything. Looking for some targets. Looks like we're stalling on point still. Oh, we do find one Computer. Once again, finding a pick. Phantoms also find one on Posu. Yep, and Hypothesis on Jurassist. Tushitom does try to fight back, but unfortunately, Hypothesis and I take them out quickly.
Yep, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left onto this push here. It is still possible. You can still finish with time here, but you can't lose any fights. A single fight loss here could cost you your chance at winning this game, and will have to force you into playing for a draw, even if you do cap 3rd with no time left.
And with the spawn so close like this, I'm worried. We did pop a lot of ultimates, and we have Posu up on theirs. I'm not having super high hopes for UofT Blue here. Posu's, I'm expecting big things from both these DPS. Anytime they have ults, it's a massive fight. And we only have one up here. Posu looking for his advantage. I've
got high hopes for a living, and for Posu, as he does have overclock rounding this corner. He is going to look to pop it, especially with the Immort coming out early. Well, this is prime.
Oh, Kiri Crawl's coming out as well. Posu, are you going to do it here? Oh, there we go. Activated. There we go. As we predicted. But Phantom's going for those jiggles. My god, with the movement is insane, but no, Phantoms does go down. Drac managed to find a kill on Megavic, but Drassus burst on Eye. Tushitom on Hypothesis. But the slow clean. Yeah, no, the carry call plus the right clicks from our Sojourn. Very nice. The big damage.
Not as clean as one would have hoped for from SMU, but that was only 2 ultimates to secure the fight, and now they have Blizzard. And Blizzard is incredibly important, especially here coming into 3rd point, because that is able to completely stop UofT's push just by putting it down, even if they are starting to lose the fight. Stall is brutal here.
Yeah, and this is a good initiated by Phantoms in order to get this fight started, but that beat coming from Dulcimax really just counters everything that happened. They didn't even need to use Cleanse here. Phantoms trying to find his own picks. Oh, Lucio 1v1 once again in these mirror matchups. Finding these picks. Ooh.
Yep, now that's another fight lost right as UofT Blue are starting to get their ults online. They've got to go, they got to play fast and hard with this. They got to win this fight instantly, and then they've also got to get 3 men on point just for a chance to win this.
Oh yeah, if we're going to overtime here, they're not going to have a chance to do anything but draw. So UofT blue here on the last legs. Hypothesis just find one on Tushy Tom. Window is popped. Oh yeah, we are committing everybody here. They know that the green light is go. They hit the May. Okay, Hypothesis cleaning up the kill on Megavix. Look, Eyes looking for yet another one. How is the stall game going to be? It's still very possible for you, SMU. Could even win.
Yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to find any stagger kills, so SMU is going to come back very fast as Hypothesis goes in with the Dragon Blade. He's going to try and pick off Lucio, and he gets the kill.
Ooh, cleanse is used. May pops their own self-obstacle. Beat, nice. Way to save Hypothesis from any damage here. Okay, and it just clean up the rest. Okay, so we do get the point in. We do
get the point in, but here's your dilemma, right? You've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. As SMU, all you have to do here is build ults. Build ults, take a fight, and pop 5. That's all you've got to do.
You know, I was expecting you to say 6 for a second. Then I remembered where I was in the past few years, and these things just shut by my eyes. And man, where are we today? What's happening?
Now,
anyway,
there is a little bit of a mind game to this. If UofT can play smart here, they might be able to conserve ults in order to, you know, bring it back and try and match the ult push with another ult push. As we can see that they're picking up characters with, you know, very strong, you know, neutral game and even like equally impactful ultimates. You've seen the Kiriko, you've seen the JQ, the Genji, and the Sojourn before. They all have fight turning ults, and that is by design. They want to pop the highest value ults with the least amount of investments. 2 minutes and 40 seconds is enough for pretty much anyone to get their ult these days.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how I or Posu takes these first few fights. If we can watch them, or if we do end up watching them, I want to see what angles they take and where they wait, because Posu is just big chilling. Like, this guy has so much time. Like, even if you don't get those 5 ultimates, if this man gets one pick, one carefully lined up shot, one extrapolated kill, the UofT blue, it is very likely they're going to fall over just because of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the DPS are going to trade with each other here.
Yeah, and you also absolutely cannot deny the pop-off factor that we've been seeing from Tushy Tom. He's been finding picks on the Kiriko. Be very interested in seeing where he goes with this.
Wall comes up already. Shift as well. Maze, low on cooldowns. I blows the orb. Okay, we have a slight commit on Ram here. Yep, this is the fated day that we talked about. Wall off to get Eye, but it doesn't last very long. Phantoms does find Megavic. Okay, this is a big trade. Hypothesis going dashing in. Eye does find Posu as well. Okay, yeah, we're getting those tricks in those trades. Nice.
Yep, when it was looking dire, when they needed it most, I came in clutch and was able to, you know, stabilize the fight as well as Phantoms with his massive knife throw into a Carnage.
Absolutely. Good peel by the both teams.
Yep, now looking back into it, we see I has 77% towards his overclock. He's going to get it very early, and it's going to be interesting seeing if he uses it here early, as Phantoms does find a kill onto Drazis, and that completely stops another push. A minute and 20 seconds, that's half the time left on the clock. And suddenly this is looking very doable for a draw.
Very doable indeed. We have those early picks that really just stall, like, I want to say, a good 30 seconds away from the other team from really pushing and making a committed push. They did fall back quite quickly. Good for them for not getting more than just their tank taken away from them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the stagger kills are also going to hurt as we are entering final fight territory, and, you know, despite what we said earlier, SMU haven't been able to build their ults, and
yeah,
UofT blue have.
But yet another wall looking to possibly isolate our JQ. We have Eye Slide up. Okay, Dustnox uses their ultimate as well. We're pushing in with the computer OW, Kiriko, with both ults coming out. Oh, but Phantoms goes in big with the Carnage.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is ult o'clock as we see we've got 4 ults, or no, sorry, 3 ults out for UofT blue and 3 ults out, or is that 2? 3?
Big.
2 or
yes.
3 on SMU as well. You know, you can see the change over to Tracer for Mega Victory. He really just wants to contest here if he can eke that out. As Drax gets an early pick on Tushy Tom.
Ooh, pushing up pretty close. Phantoms is not afraid to go aggressively here and doesn't seem to have been punished so far by the May walls, but Eye finds Mega. Oh my god, is any of the rest of the team gonna touch? Oh, Lucio gets moved away! Wait, there might not be a touch at all! No, Dulcimax is able to get there. Okay, we do have overtime. Drazis pops their ultimate. Iron Hypothesis find both supports though. I don't know if it's gonna be possible for our Ram to survive here. Maybe if they stall long enough, their team could come back. Negvix does get the next touch on point. Oh, but recall is used, and the computer OW goes down. Posu tries to come onto point, but is guarded away. Very nice. UofT OW Blue.
And wow, they managed to pull the draw off, holding off first point for almost 3 minutes. It was incredibly impressive from what seemed like a really dire situation.
Really. Oh, I saw the attempts every time. Like, Mega was trying to just wall off the Phantoms every single time, but the support, we saw Posu diving up above the wall in order to support their tank, and then also both the supports throwing all their cooldowns in order to save them. And then once we even had them go even further, where Phantom's like, I don't care that I'm here, I'm going even further, popping their Rampage, switching ultimates, and really staggering SMU from just doing that 5 ult plan like we talked about earlier.
And yeah, exactly. And you could also see that from the fights, you know, how fast they happened. SMU didn't really get a chance to build them. Like, typically what we see faster poke phases to try and build up ults, but these were speed ran fights. You saw about like 4 or 5 ults happening in a 2.5 minute period. You know, everyone's going fast, they're going hard, and you're just getting a lot of burst damage concentrated onto certain heroes, while others don't get as much in healing. So you have that little bit of a power imbalance as you see that DPS ults come online a lot faster. And, you know, those DPS ults are all very, very impactful in actually winning a fight straight up versus some of the tank or support ults that you can see.
Awesome. Well, let's see what we got next. We got some swaps coming around. We got a next map. So since how the rules work again, you know, for those of those at home that don't know, it's like the loser, there's a flip, there's a coin, I think, something like that.
Well, okay, first map is decided by a coin flip, and then followed up by that loser picks for the rest of the series. And here we are going to see that SMU has picked New Junk City, and in retaliation, UofT Blue has actually performed another sub. They are playing Magical Chairs right now with their roster. They are seeing Hypothesis switching onto tank and Phantoms going onto DPS. So it's not a sub, it's just a reallocation of their roles.
Okay. Sorry, we saw who going on to what again? My brain just absolutely.
So we're seeing Hypothesis is going on to tank. There was previously Mei / Genji, and we're going to see Phantoms, who was the tank from last map, you know, on the Ram / JQ, is going to be onto DPS.
I'm excited to see Phantoms being the aggressive type, but on DPS this time, seeing how that's going to play out with the rest of the team, making a little swamp. They're already quite like a, I want to say, dive essence team. Like, you know, even if the comp isn't quite dive, the energy that they provide when they're aggressively attacking feels very divey. So I want to see how this little swamp might change things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's 2 big determining factors when it comes to like watching play in Overwatch 2. It's the tempo that you're looking at, as well as the team comps. And the team comp often dictates the tempo, but it's not always the case, especially with Lucio's on the field. You can speed around very, very quickly, and you can, you know, Tokyo drift your way around these corners super fast, especially on Flashpoint, where it's custom to see Lucio. I don't remember the last time I saw a map without Lucio being played here. And he's very important in relocating your team, especially even after you win points. You need to get to the next one ASAP so you can start to set up, because there's no round break in between.
Right. Yeah, you know what? Congrats to both teams for their Lucios. I've seen from every tank ult has been immediately accompanied by an enemy Lucio ultimate here. Both teams really trying their best to keep up their team whenever any aggressive action is taken.
Yeah, I mean, it's so ingrained into players nowadays. You've got, you see big ults, bam, pop the support. Or like at least try to speed out and dodge if you can.
That's the cue. That's the cue.
That's the cue.
That's the cue. Press the button. Oh my God, Madrassus goes down so quickly, even with Nemesis 4 and Shift coming up. I don't think I got to see a right click. It was just health just immediately got deleted. And oh my God, executing the Mei summarily. All right, UT Blue taking first point.
That was incredibly satisfying to watch. In between the Jumper Queen cleave into the Sojourn Grenade on top of the Genji dash, you know, you just got so much AoE damage onto a team that's all clumped up together. It's very difficult to contest with that, especially when you're playing a team comp where it's very much about zone control. So as soon as they're in your space, as soon as they're up and personal, then you get really scared and you have to try and backtrack as soon as you can.
Yeah, and like seeing the aggressive angles that we're taking here, especially seeing Phantom, which is usually in like I want to say a 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position aggressively against the SMU here whenever they're trying to poke and find damage. Okay, but a big boom to push the Mei and the tank out of position here and onto the point where they cannot be helped. Ooh, Ram tries to right click and block all the damage, but unfortunately is going to get executed here once again. DPS on the other side of the map. Can they help out? Doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
Yeah, and that's another factor coming into it when you're looking at like Curie Lucio backlines is that it's very explosive and she doesn't have a way in terms of mass sustain. Right? Where your Baps or your Anas, they have massive AoE heals or heal boosts to help them heal more. You've got Curie with her papers and then a Suzu which heals 50 HP. It's not a lot in terms of AoE, especially when a lot of your teammates are taking damage at once. So unless you're amping heals on Lucio, which you never want to do, or almost never want to do. You know, when you've got multiple people getting fought at the same time, it's very difficult to keep up with that.
Okay, well, it looks like we're going to see SMU taking the high ground early, with the Lucio speed already being used. Actually, no, sorry, the amp has not come out just yet. Okay, but we initiate quickly with Kiriko. We have Blade is coming out as well. Beat popped by both teams. Oh, actually, no, Drak goes down before he's able to pop that beat, and it looks like SMU's going to take this fight here with Posu, finding 2 picks really quick. No problem. Let me just get those 1-2 yoink.
Let's get on with it.
Yeah, that was incredibly big. You saw Posu opening up the fight with Overclock into Lucio and Curie, each getting themselves, I think, 1 to 2 kills. You know, that was absolutely what we call a support diff.
Yeah,
you know, thanks to the Curie rush and the Lucio beat, you know, you see that SMU got away mostly unscathed from that fight.
Yeah, Posu, I think finding that pick so early, is most likely just holding on to their ult and being like, you know what, Kiriko, with this coming out and the pick already gone, smart of them to keep on to their ults, and it looks like we have the high ground here. But are we going to engage with more ultimates? Because we do see UofT Blue, they have a couple, and they're waiting to... Oh, okay,
Phantom's trying to draw the team down from the high ground, and they do follow. As now the team split up, and with the massive pick onto Mei, he's going to find another in the NF3.
I see, I do, I feel, I shoot, he scores. Oh my god. And Hypothesis following up just like Phantoms did earlier with a big barrage. Cyclone spinny spin pew pew move. Goes in, 2 ultimates summarily used. And we still have Drax beat.
Yep, so we have Drax beat to answer either one of the Blizzard or the Annihilation. We're going to see here as they're probably going to look to pop it, regain point control, and then attempt to cap off of that. Especially with the help of a stagger, there's going to be no way for UofT to come back to this point as if they drop it.
Ooh. Looks like we're going to have Ramontra ult pop out as well. Drak, are you going to hold on to your beat here? Oh, okay, but trades are really close. Even with some ults still being held on here. Looks like we're finding left. Okay, Hypothesis trying to go super deep in. Does find a few, 2-3 picks even. And Dras is trying to punish. Okay, Hypothesis does go down, but Dras is trade with the bleed. Okay, there is a lot of back and forth happening here. For every one, there is another. And for every another, there is another.
Yeah, I think that fight ended up being a 4 for 5 or close to it, as you know, you see most of SMU falling, and UofT only I is standing. You know, he is standing, he is watching over the point, and
he's
reveling over the death of his teammates.
He is the Avenger, and we still have beat by Drak. Very surprised that even without popping it, they were able to take that victory from UofT Blue.
Yeah, it was a very sketchy fight. All things considered, definitely came down to some hero plays on you know, both sides to bring it that close. It's definitely not something you want to rely on moving forward, that's for sure.
Yeah, very impressive display of skill, but let's see how this goes with the teamwork and the fight. We have both support ults available on both teams, but Posu, like we said, if one of the DPS has their ult, this could be huge. Maybe a wall. Oh, to cut off our Junker Queen. No, okay, Posu goes down actually to computer. Able to find the pick. Dresses then trades really quickly. Okay, Phantoms trying to find yet another pick too. Gets both supports. Is able to finish off the DPS, and we still have ultimates. We're still sitting on those.
Yeah, and that was a pretty clean fight. You're seeing the beat solely from Varsity Blue, traded out for, actually no ults. So both teams are being very disciplined. They're waiting, they're biding their time. And, you know, Varsity Blue did get their cap on pretty late, so it's going to be a really good contest opportunity for SMU as they're looking back in, or looking for a way to come back into this.
Yeah, Tom kind of got jumped by 3 people in that fight just now.
Mhm.
I'm looking to see if that's going to happen again, or if we're going to see Hypothesis just pressuring the Ram right now. Oh my god, he's right-clicking already. He's shielding. Oh my god, Rampage to keep it low. Okay, but B does come out from Dostalmax. Able to save their Ram possibly, but it doesn't look like because they have Burst Heal that he's going to stay up for very long. Phantoms able to pressure and finds Posu. Okay, we have the DPS trade. We're going to find yet another one from Phantoms. Able to get his support. Good peel by Lucio to keep that Genji off, but oh, looks like they're already a few picks down. Phantom's trying to clean up. Oh, but it's just not enough. The double dash into yet another dash to find the Ram Mantra.
Yeah, and that's going to be the map. It's looking like it's really unfortunate how, UofT misfired and, took on 3 ults into Dostalmax's beat, right? So the beat was really, really good, but
yes,
beat as an ultimate, it gets to the point where you either only invest 1 ult to bait it out, or you invest all of your ults and then you burn through it quickly and then you kill everyone after anyways. And that's kind of what we saw happen almost unintentionally, is you saw people taking different fights kind of scattered around the point. But, all things considered, that's going to be map 3 going over to UofT Blue as they take the series so far 2-0 to the SMU Mustangs.
Well done on both teams. Really enjoying the back and forth that we're seeing here. Like even if UofT Blue did take, I want to say all 3 of those maps, or the sections of the map just now, every fight was close. Like it could have gone either way, especially in I think the second one where we saw those 4 for 5 trades going left and right and all the hero plays doing their thing, picking up kills at the end of the fight. Oh man, I am at the edge of my seat here. Double checking that's true. Yep, and we've got confirmation. Edge of my seat.
Yeah, and you did see things coming down pretty close, even though the score might not reflect that exactly. It really was a shame the way that Kings Row ended. It could have been a really big point onto the scoreboard and really help us like accurately reflect this. But the way things are right now, being up 2-0 and heading into, I believe, push next map, it'll be very, very interesting to see what kind of decisions are being made here, and if they're going to continue to invest into the rush comp, or if they're willing, or if SMU are willing to diversify and experiment in, in the name of trying to catch a win here.
Yeah, what do you think SMU has to do? What strengths do they have to play to on the push maps in order to overtake UofT right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, some really big points that we've seen here is we've seen that the flex support Computero is a little vulnerable to getting picked. It's been happened a couple fights now, so identifying that weakness and trying to either outright kill or at least force out utility out of the Baptiste most of the time, or the Curie. That's a really easy way to increase the vulnerability of Varsity Blue a lot. And another way that it could be worked around is we've seen that the tanks have been more vulnerable to May Wolf on the side of Varsity Blue, and being caught on the other side of it is usually a death sentence unless you have either an ult to bail you out, or a really good Lucio player who's on the ball and he's going to be like speeding you out instantly as that happens, and then you run the risk of even Lucio dying there, right?
If SMU were to invest in a main support like an On or a BAP, do you think that would keep the tank from their side up longer? Because I felt like every time they try to approach with like the tip of the spear, poke a little bit with their tank going forward, their health will just disappear. And credit to, of course, the DPS on UofT Blue for really shredding the tank in front. But do they have to invest in Ram or whoever's in front there, or do they have to just go dive?
I'm not entirely sure. If I had all the answers, then I might as well become a coach, and then I would sell my services, right? And it does look like the next map is being locked in as SMU are taking us to UofT's homeland. We've got New Queen Street, Toronto, baby. What are you thinking about our odds on this map?
Odds are, we go to the corner of the map and we find that cardboard box on the street, and that would be my house right there. So if you guys want like a live tour of my bedroom, where I keep my computer, my setup, yeah, it's all in that one little guy there.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to famous no-name Red coffee shop. Stopping by, going down
whoa,
by
we can't say no name. That's another brand. That's another Canadian brand. We don't own that.
Oh no. Generic. No, I think that's another one of their brands actually. Red Box. Do they have red boxes? Maybe. I don't know. Because I don't know. Cardboard box brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TM.
Okay. Yeah, TM. Uh, so going on to Toronto, we're looking at a lot. Toronto neighbor like harbors a lot of different play styles. You've got a lot of it's very friendly to your forests, to your echoes. You've also got, it's a very nice sniper map as well. If you want to do double snipers, you can play dive on it. It's a little more hostile to rush again, especially compared to other maps like Esperanza or what's the other one called again? Coliseum. There you go. I knew it.
Yes. Yep. We
Um,
did. Good job, team.
yeah, but I mean, New Queen Street is going to be an interesting one as we're starting to load into the map and not sure what exactly to expect from both teams.
I am excited to see once again the DPS. Like, I don't know if this is putting a spotlight on them too much or highlighting them every single fight, but especially like you said, sniper map. We're gonna see Sojourn really finding the high grounds aggressively, either in that middle tunnel right there or on the hockey stick statue side, seeing where the fights duke out there and seeing how they can support their teams. I'm glad we did that together. The audience at home couldn't see exactly what we were doing just now, but both of us, without any pre-planning at all, just gave the silent salute to a Canadian flag. You're a Canadian at home and you're viewing this, you are not mandatorily told to do the same, but if you don't, then your nearest local red box will come to you and find you and give you a tutorial. Very kindly.
And some coffee and Timbits as well. Or box
red box bits. Yeah.
Red box bits. There you go.
Yeah. Absolutely free of charge. It's like that one cereal in Rick and Morty where it's like if you take or eat from that cereal box, like the guy will come and try to steal it from you. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if I've seen that episode.
Ah, well, that's your loss. I think you need to educate yourself as a caster. There's a certain standard we have to hold you to.
All right, I guess I'm binging the entirety of Rick and Morty tonight. As we see the comps come out, you're seeing, the typical dive from Varsity Blue into the Junker Queen comp from SMU. We talked about experimentation, and this is it. We see Pasu off of the Sojourn that he was so dominantly onto the Genji instead, and we see a Junker Queen coming out as well. Junker Queen into Doom is a really, really good matchup, as you're just able to deny a lot of what Doom does, and you thrive off of him being in your team.
Hey, yeah, another aggressive angle by Phantoms. Really knows how to find like that one little corner where they can freely throw shurikens and not take too much damage. Hypothesis kind of getting beat up a little bit. Not sure how their health is going to look here at the end of this fight, because right now, yeah, they're in the middle of the Junker Queen. They're doing it just a little bit too long with not enough space. Okay, but I just trade with Tishitom. Can we find anything for Phantoms? I finds two. Megavix goes down. Eyes trying to find yet another one in the backline. Oh, but it gets closed down. Even with Lucio at 1 HP.
So terribly close, but they do get a little bit of meterage on the card itself, and they're forced to run away as they can't really contest point while Junker Queen is alive.
Yeah, highly aggressive DPS, finding their picks and doing their thing once again. They were able to take out, not Aspect, but Hypothesis this time. Oh, we have such an early beat from Dulcimax. Good for them. They find that very early, but don't know how much value it got. Hypothesis does find Drassist. Are we going to see more space from here? Okay, it looks like, yeah, we're just going to hover around the corners here from SMU. How are we going to see the next fight turn out?
Yeah, I mean, another thing we definitely don't underestimate is how fast Doomfist, especially powered by a Lucio, can get back to point. He was back there, like, almost instantly. Yeah. After he respawned, he must have got a rollout at his spawn. As we see Kyutaro with a massive Kitsune Rush trying to just buy more space to edge the robot forward more and more.
Okay, a nice pulse by Eye, followed by Hypothesis. Okay, and the rest of the team is just ready to go. Clean wipe.
Yep, paving the way forward as we are approaching the checkpoint. Massive. So the major goal here for UofT is they want to get Operation Butt Scratch down. As soon as they get the bot onto the point, it'll stop, take a moment to look around, scratch its butt, and then it's going to unlock the checkpoint for them, and it's going to make sure that they get a lot more time moving forward. And you know what? They got contested on right before it happened.
Oh my goodness, Kate. Yep, Kiriko Blade. Kiriko Blade, ladies and gentlemen, from Phantoms. This is definitely, again, a bread and butter strategy from UofT Blue. We've got the Kiriko Blade, we have the right-click Randy, when we have the window, and we have the right-click from Sojourn, and it looks like we're just going to easily clean that fight as well. Even from Pasu and Tishitom trying their own Kiriko Blade, it looks like just the mechanical skill on UofT Blue just a little bit better.
The Kitsune Rush was from SMU, not UofT, just letting you know.
I thought I saw from both. No.
No, they used the last fight.
Okay, well then,
anyways,
I'd like the game to correct itself.
Anyway,
okay,
we back at it again. Computer gets a pick onto Mega Victory, and Doom is forced to pop his Ninja Strike early, but it just looks like they're going to continue on their march forwards.
like Hypothesis and Phantoms, like, or was Hypothesis the first Doomfist? Because I've seen now, like, or we've seen from the very first map when we had a Doomfist working out really well for distracting and buying space in the front. I think Hypothesis was the first one as well. I don't remember, but two plays of this now. And Drasus, okay, has decided that, yeah, no, I heard you, casters. I'm not to be outdone here. Poacher finds I, and looks like we're going to slowly clean up once again. All right, I get it. Maybe I won't say anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, Poacher.
My friend, I think you might have caster first yourself. Just a little bit.
They can hear me, these guys.
They are in your walls. Of course they can hear you.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good that now
you screaming in your room, like on that top, like the room to the the right there, like behind the blue wall. Like they can hear you there while you're running around. No, in the map. No, they can like hear you.
Oh, gotcha. Of course. Yeah. I looking for a kill. Oh, the track finds Dulcimax. Unfortunate because he had beat as well, which could have saved a lot of people. Posu not to be outdone. Does kill computer. Drasus finds drag. Hypothesis shut down Posu with the blade, and I does not find any purchase with his pulse bomb. Hypothesis seems to fall off the map. Not sure if it was a push.
That was a completely intentional reset maneuver. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As we're seeing a regroup, a reset mentality, and you know, SMU is starting to progress towards first checkpoint. You know, they're rounding the corner. This is their next major trial, their next major fight, as they're trying to get Operation Butt Scratch down.
Oh, I do love to see this Doom versus Doom. Now as both teams have their attention split and are really relying on that teamwork that they've built. Hypothesis does go down to Megavic though, and they do pop Dulcimax's beat. Phantoms is looking for something here. Looks like he's got his Kira called and he knows it. Dashes back in just to get it. Gets the reset. Oh, Kiriko, can you save yourself? You can't, even if you do have your cleanse, it doesn't matter. Genji blades and Genji dips. Drak finds Megavix and Phantoms dashes into the sky for extra style points. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and despite Hypothesis going in and being very, very sad that he gets CO2'd and then rushed on and beated on at the same time. You know, Phantoms with the hero blade, of course. You know, if you play Genji, right, you have to have a hero complex, and you've got to, like, you are the main character, and just having that, you know, mentality can win you some fights that were previously lost.
All right, this might sound like a dumb thing to say, but you can be healed while you're ulting now? Is it like, does Doom regain health when he's up there? That guy was chilling. Hypothesis was like 20 HP and then decides to go back up in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, that's a new change that they added. He has self-healing on his ultimate now. As long as he's in the sky, he gains 75 health per second, up to about 300 or 250 something or other. Great points.
Oh my god, no wonder you can just go in so quickly like that. That would have been good to know earlier in my comp games, but okay. Oh, looks like Hypothesis using that ultimate really does buy a lot of space, and I think his team was just free to push up as they were distracted with dealing with him. He's able to get out with his ult. Now they find Drasus. I gets another pick. They use Beat in order to try to make up for the differential in numbers. Oh, Megafix goes down immediately to drag. Even with Beat out.
Yeah, and as we're edging our way towards victory, we've got 7 meters, 5 meters left. Are they going to be able to get a touch in? The answer is yes.
Drasus does make it. Drasus does make it. Okay. Oh, but unfortunately goes down really quickly. And even with recall, looks like Megavix is going to get shut down here. Oh, Tushy popping a Cure Gold. Maybe something can happen here. Phantom's low HP. If they can focus him. Okay. Big beat. It's possible to do something with this. Looks like with the spawn advantage, it's possible SMU is able to take something here. Okay. Drag is definitely fighting in front.
Doom did not get the beat as he is knocked down to low HP almost immediately. As Lucio does fall again. Hypothesis does get a trade, but Posu pumps up the blade. Is able to secure a kill on Drek. He gets a kill on the Phantom. Wow, and now Hypothesis does kill Drasus to kind of slow down their momentum a little bit. They are still down, I think, 2 to 3 in this fight.
He's trying to take out their counterpart. They do find the kill on Megavix. Posu does take out Hypothesis. Posu doing big things here, doing mega work. If I were him, I'd be like, oh my god, team, what are you guys doing? Okay, it looks like SMU able to take it back so desperately at the end. Congrats.
Yep, up against the ropes, they know how to throw it back, and they are able to, you know, make their way back towards the central point.
An essential skill.
UofT does have the forward response. They're able to make it back to the fight very, very quickly. And Hypothesis gets an early kill into Dulcimax.
Ooh. The Phantom spots the blade. Hypothesis already getting that early pick. It doesn't look too good for SMU. I mean, yeah, it is push, so maybe you can find your way back, but oh, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, Dress is actually stalling for quite a lot of time. This is really good. They're definitely going to get another fight here, so good job for you.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
You know what? That's inspiring. I'm going to putting that in my 2024 quotes of the year.
Oh god. Anyways, we're seeing a little bit of a late stagger out with Tom, as Asu might be the next victim, as Rezis comes back out from spawn. He's going to be able to...
What?
Wow.
Okay, Hypothesis does get the kill, so Phantoms gets the dash reset in order to escape. I was hard calling in my head that he was going to die, but it doesn't matter. His team was there to support him. He was not afraid to stay in the back line. Oh my god, they even have beat to finish it off. Oh, the stagger that we were talking about just goes too far. Oh, defeat at Union Station.
Yeah, and that's going to be GG's for both teams. Good games, everybody. And that's going to be UofT Varsity Blue taking map 4 in a 3-0 series. 3 wins and 1 draw coming out. And really want to congratulate the players for the great, on-screen performance here. The first match of the season, especially also being streamed. The tension was high. You could definitely see, especially around Kings Row and the Antarctic Peninsula, you got a lot of close fights, and it was really just the minute details that were the difference maker in a lot of them.
Yeah, I want to even say like the cooldowns is as much as both teams had follow up with their tanks, the dive together, the target focus, the 1 or 2 picks at the beginning of the fight really made the big difference, and the one wall or the one shot, the one orb from what is it, Ramatra and also Sojourn, like just to initiate and to force other cooldowns, like, just domino effects. And you could really see that in both characters and both teams, that they really knew how to use their cooldowns to maximum effect and when to go in. And it was great to see. But it looks like mechanically the attention was just a little more divided on SMU, as UofT Blue was able to initiate with a really, really aggressive play style with their tanks. Good job to both teams. There was a fantastic showing from everybody all around.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, everybody who played, and thank you, the viewers. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you guys next week / next stream, whenever that is. Have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.
See you Friday, kids.
Friday.